So now I guess we're demoing doll houses. Well, at least that's what this one looks like compared to what's springing up all around us. Let's go inside, take our usual walk around, see what we can come up with, and then take a run around the property, and we'll get busy. So I'll give you the first view as you walk up. Let's take a look. Oh man, nice. Look at that huge window. Wow. This deck is a little bit precarious, if I could use a big word. Let's go on in. Okay. Shut the door behind us. Look at, man, wow, you could see everything. That is probably the biggest front window of all of these houses that we've been in. All right, let's start the tour. It's not going there quite yet. All right, living room, fireplace, pretty typical. Fireplace looks like it's been used quite a bit. So no fancy hearth and no mantle. So it doesn't get any more minimalist, listen to me use that word, I made it, than that. All right, let's go down the hall first. Door on the left, utility, furnace, okay? And if you notice, they have the back side of the fireplace and then some CMU wall to protect the occupants of the first bedroom, it looks like. So let's go in the first bedroom. Rather small. Nice view to not much. And those hated, I almost want to do a pre-demo here, but we'll just leave it at that. Okay, somebody lit the lamp. Let's look. Okay, another good use of a fixture that's not supposed to be used for that, but we'll take it. Maybe they got a deal on it. All right, let's, a little bit of last minute daily affirmations there, I guess. I choose to be optimistic about the present and the future. I am love. I embody love and joy in everything that I do. You know what? That has my name on it. That's me right there. So every one of these places I have to have some sort of little souvenir. Let's back up and look at the hall again and go down and turn left. Again, another small bedroom. A few little artifacts left on the windowsill. Got a hole in the wall. That's where the abatement guys check to see if there's anything that's bad in there. Look at the little track lighting above. Okay. Unique situation with these doors. There's no little rings there to put your fingers in and your closet. So I guess you always had to grab it with your hand. Probably were constantly getting the 409 out, wiping off fingerprints. Okay, let's get out of here. Let's go. There goes William. Got a full-length photo of William at the end of the hall, so what's wrong with that? Let's go in the next bedroom. Okay, another small bedroom. Okay, well, what do you think? And this is different. Little bit of storage over the closets. Okay, make a little bit of use of that area up there. And a couple more closets with these, I think, louver doors. See, louver, I think they came from France. And that could be why I don't like them. Who knows? Sorry to you people that are of the French persuasion. And speaking of French, we have another French word in our vocabulary for this house with bidet. I learned two French words, louver and bidet. And here's our bathroom with a little insert, nothing special. Let me turn around. And a little cabinet, little fake, look like those little IKEA plants or whatever that you buy. Right there at the cash register, they get you every time. Another $4.99 in the basket. Let's go back out. Turn left. This would be the dining room. Did we look in here? Maybe not. Oh, a little coat closet with an extra shelf in it, no big deal. And what is this? Another, it's kind of odd having a closet in here. And, a door that went outside. So what'd they do? Okay, that's different. Looks like yeah, look at the door handle in there. So if you want to exit through the closet, I guess you have that option. Okay, couple of windows, so when you're dining and having breakfast, you can look out. I love the fact that there's a lot of glass in this place. And then here is the kitchen. So, looks like it also can use a little bit of 409. But countertops, and I just noticed something. Dual, sorry Susan. Let's call it, no lazy Susan, let's call them dual ambitious Susan, because it's a new era. So we have dual ambitious Susans and kind of a tight kitchen, especially when you bring in a big refrigerator like that instead of your smaller one that would tuck in there, but that's fine. And light fixtures. Look at this light fixture. We got some track lighting up here. Okay, go across. And what is this? Little rumpus room, but you know something? I just stepped down a couple steps. I'm walking on concrete underneath this carpet. So this was probably the little garage or carport. I would say it's a carport. Just enough to bring your 58 Edsel in and park it and jump out. Throw your hat on the hat rack. And it's got a skylight. So yeah, this is an addition. See the blown on texture and everything. So let's keep going. And then we journey back here. Laundry with more of those famous doors. Closet. Okay, very nice. Yeah, look at they built this actual closet here, right? Kind of freestanding. So a little CSI there. They use the trim to hide that joint. And look, yeah, this is a freestanding. So that's what this was. It was a garage, and it had laundry. And then somewhere along the line, they added a bootleg bathroom. So this, okay, I busted them. This is not the original bathroom, but it's nice because now we have a 3-bedroom and a 2-bath, and it's pretty cramped in here. My hat is almost touching the beam going across here for support, and yet another French apparatus. I guess everyone's really, you never know, those might have been installed when the, you know what happened when everyone was heading to Costco for the truckloads. Anyway, here we go. So bootleg, this was the garage or the carport. More than likely just a carport. Okay, what's this? Oh, another one of those things like I had before. Somebody, I'm gonna have to look that up. Okay, had the little elephant guy on there giving me a high five. We had that in another video. So what do you want to do? You want to go back outside this way and take a walk around the house? Let's go left or right. See the windows? Another window right there. Planter box underneath the window. Kind of breaks up the fact that it used to be a garage. I'm on to them. Let's look. Man. Go down. All right, little metal carport. Okay, so they utilize the carport for more living area, and then, okay, look at custom cuts. If you're gonna make that carport fit, you gotta do a little bit of adjustment, so that's kind of funny. All right. Okay, kind of overgrown. All right, where are we going? Okay, that string works. All right. Little covered porch area. I like it. So you step up here, and then you go across, and you step back down. Okay. Let's keep going around. And here we are on the far side of the house. And there's that door. Now what was that? We have a door, here we go again. We have a door right there and a door right there. So what is it? Where's Monty Hall? Door number 1, door number 2. Okay. Look at the beautiful yard. See the neighbors? Look at this is when you get leaning up against the fence and talk to your neighbors years ago. Stand there, a little chit chat while you got your apron on and the biscuits are burning. You go, oh sorry, I gotta run back in. I can smell the biscuits. They're burning. And talk to you later. We'll catch up on the gossip tomorrow. Let's get shed alert. And this is a nice one. Hey, let's take a look what's inside. Okay. Hey, nice flooring, but quite a few little leftovers of arts and crafts, and looks like a little massage, little machine apparatus. A little catch for a lawnmower or something. Okay. Wow, this is a really nice shed. And it looks relatively new. Not sure if they'll be able to get this out in one piece or what's going to happen with it. But occasionally they'll sell these sheds if they have a buyer and they're easy to get out and it doesn't wreck the schedule. Take a walk around on the outside of your typical shed. Yeah, nice. Okay. Little gazebo. There again. One of those things that you'd like to save, but by the time I don't have, the labor and involved taking it all apart and trying to keep it nice. So yeah, that's pretty cool. This little place, something like this, I tell you what I would do. I would bring a crew of guys here and get rid of everything that's not the original house. I would go through and gut that interior, get rid of that bathroom, get rid of everything and bring this thing back to as absolute original as possible. Landscape kind of like that style, maybe in the late 50s, early 60s or something like that. But I would just try to restore this back to its original condition and maybe figure out a little car protection or something like that. But sometimes a lot of these, if you look around, they've got a lot of extra pavers and little mismatch. That gazebo doesn't match the landscaping retaining wall and things like that. So over the years, things just start looking pieced together. But I think if I bought a place like this, or if they handed it to me or whatever, I'd probably try to bring it back 100%, restore it like it was the original form, and then go from there. If you want to add a few things, but make everything kind of go with it. But what happens is the people that actually live in here over the years, they don't have tons of money to make everything perfect. They just have a necessity and feed that necessity and keep on living. And so, yeah, what a cool little house, huh? It's too bad it's gotta go. But I'll show you the difference. Let me walk you out to the street, duck under these bushes. Wow. And dodge the blackberries, man. Those things are everywhere. But let me just walk you out to the street and give you one comparison of what's happening around here. So here's this little place from the street. Just take that all in, and then I'll give you a quick shot of what's right next door. So that's what we have next door. A little bit different, won't you? A little bit different, don't you think? Yeah, that's what all of these small little bungalows, these little cozy little places are turning into, monstrosities. But that's where we live right now, and that's what people want. Not saying good or bad, that's just what's happening around here. And these small ones are going away one at a time. Anyway, let's get on this one and keep it moving. Huh? Well, when you peel the house off of all these little one-stories, I just realized you get one thing, and that is a rectangle. Look at the foundation here. It's a rectangle. So how is it that we have these little rectangles, they start building a house, and then an architect and a designer and probably the wife gets involved and starts turning walls every which way. You think you'd come up with some kind of a standard, but every one of them is different, and that's what's funny. Look it's a rectangle. I can't figure that out. There must be, I'm gonna have to go back through all these videos, and man, I got these bees flying around me. They're kind of angry. The ones over here are cool, but the ones they dug up over there, they're not abiding by my kind of the deal I have with animals in nature, that they leave me alone and I leave them alone. And a couple of them were gone rogue, I think, and started heading out after me. And had a couple of these are a little curious as well. So I'm out here braving the elements for you. Anyway, I think that may fit. Dan has just a little bit left. And but yeah, that's the thing that just kind of hit me. Every one of these is a rectangle, and a lot of them, somewhere along the lines, the wife says, you know what, I want a bonus room, so get rid of all your stuff out of the garage, and you can put a carport out there, and you know, so, and then, hey, that recliner, so all the guy wants is his garage and a recliner, and he loses his garage, and I think he probably has to sit on the sofa when he gets home. Just my hypothesis that, you know, all these, you lose the garage and all these. I don't know why. Anyway, appreciate you watching. I'm going to wrap this up before these guys start getting together and plotting something against me. So I appreciate you watching, and see you on the next one.